This is New York City, a skyline that defines ambition, a city that never truly sleeps. More than 8 million people live here. Millions more commute in and out every day. Over 800 languages are spoken on its streets. It is the financial capital of the world, home to Wall Street and the New York Stock Exchange. It is the cultural engine of music, fashion, film, and media. But this global powerhouse began as wilderness, where skyscrapers now pierce the clouds, forests once covered rolling hills, where taxis now honk in traffic, rivers flowed freely through untouched land. To understand how this city became the center of global influence, we must peel back the layers of time. New York was not built in a day. It was built across centuries. Long before Europeans arrived, this land belonged to the Lenape people. Manhattan was known as Mannahatta, meaning the island of many hills. It was rich with forests, streams, wetlands, and wildlife. The Hudson River was alive with fish. The land provided deer, berries, and fertile soil. The Lenape lived in seasonal communities. They farmed, hunted, fished, and traded with neighboring tribes. Their society was structured, spiritual, and deeply connected to nature. There were no permanent borders, no deeds, no real estate. Land was shared, respected, and preserved. For thousands of years, this balance remained undisturbed. Then, in the early 1600s, sails appeared on the horizon, bringing trade, opportunity, and irreversible change. In 1609, English explorer Henry Hudson, sailing for the Dutch, entered the harbor. He was searching for a northern passage to Asia. He didn't find one, but he discovered something equally powerful, one of the world's greatest natural harbors. The river that now bears his name offered access deep into the continent. For European powers competing for trade dominance, this was priceless. The Dutch quickly recognized its potential. The region was not valuable for gold, but for fur. Beaver pelts were in high demand in Europe. Trade relationships began forming. What started as exploration soon became colonization. And within a decade, settlement would begin. By 1624, Dutch settlers established New Amsterdam at the southern tip of Manhattan. In 1626, Governor Peter Minuit negotiated the transfer of Manhattan from the Lenape. New Amsterdam quickly became a busy trading post. Ships filled the harbor. Markets bustled with goods from Europe, Africa, and the Caribbean. It was surprisingly diverse for its time. Dutch, Germans, Africans, Jews, and others lived within the colony. To protect themselves from attack, settlers built a wooden defensive wall at the colony's northern boundary. That street still exists today, Wall Street. But the Dutch would not keep the city for long. In 1664, English ships arrived. Without bloodshed, the colony surrendered. New Amsterdam became New York. Under British rule, New York expanded rapidly. It became one of the most important ports in North America. Trade connected it to the Caribbean, Europe, and other colonies. Sugar, timber, rum, and enslaved labor fueled economic growth. By the mid-1700s, New York was one of the largest cities in the colonies. Wealth grew, but so did inequality and political tension. British taxes and restrictions angered colonists. Protests spread. The city stood at the center of revolutionary debates that would reshape the world. New York became a key battleground during the American Revolution. The Battle of Long Island in 1776 marked one of the war's largest conflicts. The British occupied the city for years. When independence was finally secured, New York stood ready for a new chapter. In 1789, George Washington was inaugurated at Federal Hall. For a short time, New York was the first capital of the United States. The foundations of American finance and federal authority began here. But the greatest transformation was still ahead. In 1825, the Erie Canal opened, connecting the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes. Suddenly, goods from America's interior flowed through New York Harbor. The city exploded economically. Banks expanded, markets multiplied, trade routes strengthened. New York became America's commercial gateway. Industry began replacing farmland. Population surged as opportunity spread. Millions arrived through Ellis Island, seeking opportunity. Irish fleeing famine, Italians seeking work, Jewish families escaping persecution. Neighborhoods formed distinct identities: Little Italy, Chinatown, Harlem. Life was not easy. Tenements were crowded. Factories demanded long hours. Poverty was widespread. Yet ambition never disappeared. In 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge connected boroughs, symbolizing unity and engineering ambition. The city was growing upward. The Statue of Liberty became a symbol of hope for arriving immigrants. Skyscrapers reshaped the skyline. In 1931, the Empire State Building rose above the city. Wall Street thrived until the crash of 1929. The Great Depression hit hard, but New York endured. During World War II, New York became a military and shipping powerhouse. After the war, it entered a golden era. The United Nations established headquarters here, cementing New York's global role. Industry, finance, and culture thrived. The city stood at the center of the American century. By the 1970s, New York was struggling. Crime rates soared. Businesses fled. The city nearly declared bankruptcy in 1975. Entire neighborhoods were abandoned. Subway cars were covered in graffiti. Times Square became a symbol of urban decline. Yet beneath the hardship, culture was exploding. Hip-hop was born in the Bronx. Punk rock echoed through downtown clubs. Street art transformed concrete into canvas. In 1973, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center reshaped the skyline, symbols of global finance and ambition. By the 1980s, Wall Street surged again. Markets boomed. Skyscrapers multiplied. Corporate power expanded. In the 1990s, crime dropped dramatically. Tourism returned. Investment poured in. New York had done what it always does. It reinvented itself. The 21st century began with unimaginable tragedy. The skyline changed forever. But New York did not fall. It rebuilt. One World Trade Center rose, not just as a tower, but as a statement of resilience. Today, New York leads in finance, media, technology, fashion, diplomacy, and innovation. Startups grow in Brooklyn. Global decisions are made in Manhattan. Culture spreads from its streets to the entire world in seconds. From Lenape homeland, to Dutch trading post, to British colony, to revolutionary city, to immigrant gateway, to global capital, New York was never finished. It was always becoming. If this journey through centuries sparked your imagination, don't let the story end here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and step with us into the past. One city, one era, one reconstruction at a time. History is not just something we read, it's something we rebuild. Tell us in the comments, which city should we travel back to next? Until the next chapter, keep exploring.